What's good, YouTube? That's hella corny. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Dola Iran. Back with another video, man. Today, we're watching the 5 levels. What's this one? The 5 levels of industry plan. This video, this thumbnail video recommendation came across my For You page of YouTube and shit. I'm like, interesting, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Fucking her itching and shit. Yeah, man, I'm just getting to it.
Plant gets thrown around so much now that, I mean, it's hard to even know what it means anymore.
Right.
See, there's levels to this. And let's start with the ones who hide it best.
Right.
The organic.
Step on the
going.
glass. Staple your tongue.
These are the artists who still need you to believe that they started from nothing. The story has to feel real. The struggle, the discovery, the breakthrough, the indie darlings who got lucky with a viral moment. But if you look closer, their bedroom is in a $1 million house that their parents own, or that viral moment was coordinated by PR agents and label executives. They keep the aesthetics to DIY, but behind the scenes, there was professional management going on the whole time, even before you knew their name. Artists like Billie Eilish.
I've wanted to do this like my whole life, so I'm a little shaky.
Now, she's talented, but the whole "we recorded Ocean Eyes in my brother's bedroom" thing, that's not the whole story. What they don't mention is Finneas was already working in the music industry. Their mom was an actress, their dad was in bands, they grew up in LA, already around the entertainment industry. Billie was even...
So yeah, it was 100, like, she had a 75% chance of blowing up. Like, what? Shit, that's kind of like the NBA on some shit. Like, niggas already be having people they knew that was already in the NBA, or like, you know how people be just having connections. And that goes with just sports and you having connections, and they end up just getting them on the team and shit like that. Like, bro, it really be like
so
that,
she could
gang.
pursue music.
Homeschool.
Yeah.
Did that shape who you are and who you will be? Because
Yeah.
And by the time Ocean Eyes dropped, Finneas had already written
Ocean Eyes is a good song, though.
He had a manager. He understood how the machine worked. Interscope didn't just stumble on him on SoundCloud. The setup was already there. See, there was this guy named Danny Rukerson who became her manager. And Danny was business partners with Brandon Goodman. And Brandon managed Fall Out Boy.
Damn.
So Billie already had deep industry connections from the start. See, the Organic Plant, they're the smartest plays because they keep the indie credibility while having major label resources. They play it cool.
And the day she still put in work, though.
These are the artists who don't exist one day, and then the next day they're on every playlist. The push is so aggressive that even casual listeners notice that something's a little off.
Nah,
Seeing
facts.
festival lineups before they have a fan base, getting late night TV slots before they have a catalog, collaborating with A-listers on their second single. The machine gives them all the signs of success before they've even earned it. They'll have 50 million streams, but you never heard anybody play their music in real life. They're trending on
Spice
X,
lost
but
hella
nobody's
weight, boy.
actually
She used to
talking
be
about
thick
them.
as a
They're
motherfucker.
everywhere.
She
and
ain't
nowhere
thick
at the
no
same
more.
time. They're betting that if they push hard enough and fast enough, eventually fans will follow. Most of the time it doesn't work, or it only works temporarily. But when it does work, it works fast. Now, she's cliche to talk about at this point, but the artist most people talk about in this category has to be Ice Spice.
Yeah, facts, factual.
She went from unknown to featuring with major artists in a few months. Munch dropped in August of 2022, and by October, she was already being called the Princess of Rap. And then she was at the Met Gala by May. Also, her music video blew up on World Star Hip Hop.
Man, that
And I can
shit
tell
used to
you, being in
be
the music
all
industry
over the
myself,
net.
World Star charges big money to feature you. But if you look even closer than that, her label 10K Projects is run by Elliot Grange. And Elliot is the son of Lucian Grange, who runs Universal Music Group. So it's not just the money, it's also the access and every door being open for you at the same time. Another one is Kid Leroy.
Go, go, go. She always be talking like she no.
Now, he's a controversial one because there's signs of him being an industry plant, but his upbringing and his start in the music industry is pretty highly debated. It's hard to really know for sure. First off, his dad was a music producer and sound engineer, and his mom was a talent manager. And after some digging, I found out that she started a management company called Mama Capone Management to help Kid Laroi and the people he was working with get on the map. And it goes a little bit deeper because the claim is that he grew up in poverty in the ghettos of Australia. But some of these early photos I found
Of Australia?
would say otherwise.
Seriously?
Yeah, of course I wasn't there, so we still can't say for sure. But between the Juice WRLD features and the Justin Bieber collabs, it felt like he was being marketed as the next global superstar out of nowhere. And the most recent person people like to throw in this category is Doechii. Now, when you factor in her versatility and her stage presence, I think it's hard to say that she's not talented or doesn't deserve recognition. But everything was just so aggressive with her rise that people were calling her a plant before giving her a chance. So she signed to TDE, Kendrick's label. They're an independent label, but they got ties with the big three record companies.
You know what's crazy? I not even crazy, but it's like these artists don't give two fucks what the people be talking about in these comments and shit. Like, they do not care, bro. They made their money. Money's so important to these people nowadays, bro. It's like they ain't gonna give two fucks. You already know what the Diddy shit is. The situation is with the Diddy shit. I mean, goddamn, like these people obviously don't care about money. I mean, don't care about what the people saying. All they caring about is getting the money. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, bro. Niggas get oiled up for some money. Pause. Shit. Niggas get oiled up for some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like.
Universal and
Niggas
Warner.
really get oiled up
She
for that
basically
shit.
went from up and coming artist to winning a Grammy for best rap album overnight. And her rise
I ain't never
seems
seen
legit
Doechii though, like her
versatile
face.
because at one point she just seemed like your average YouTuber that was on the come up. But it's pretty clear that she's had some big label backing before we all knew who she was. It's one thing to develop an artist's talents and skills, but it's another thing to spend major label money on plays and views. But what happens when an artist presents themselves as not having any money?
Australia got a
family,
lot of industry
and
plants.
being 16 in the middle of Miami? Amethyst Amelia Kelly, aka Iggy Azalea.
First things first, I'm the realest. Drop this and let the whole world feel it.
A white girl
You don't
from
hear her
Australia,
talked about no more.
but you would never know that from listening to her fake urban southern accent.
Better check my tax bracket. What you think was gonna happen? Nagging, now he's leaving, and y'all broke up like madmen.
She became
Shit was
obsessed
trash.
with southern hip hop, and during that time, it was so different and unexpected. T.I. couldn't help but roll out the red carpet for her. I mean, he signed her, and they basically constructed an entire persona. They got her on big interviews, featured with major artists like Charlie XCX, and the machine took off from there. At first, everybody embraced her, even the black community. She was invited to the cookout, as we like to say.
Man, he even getting cracked.
But as time went on and racial tension started to flare back up in America, she got caught up in the culture vulture conversations. And once the culture rejected her, I mean, Machine couldn't save her. Some of it started with the feud between Iggy Azalea and Azalea Banks after Iggy won Best Rap Album at the Grammys.
You know what I mean? That Iggy Azalea shit is not better than any fucking black girl that's rapping today, you know? And when they give those awards out, 'cause the Grammys are supposed to be...
She always talking. I don't know who done right wrong, but it's like she always got something to say. Remember seeing her Nick Cannon show, and she just always, like, she was pissy. Like, knowing damn well everything was a joke. Unless that shit was scripted. But, like, every time I see her, she always talking, bro.
accolades for artistic excellence. You get what I mean? Iggy Azalea is not excellent.
The theys purchase things that they see themselves in, right? And businesses capitalize on that.
And that's fine. So put her in the pop category. Put her with Katy Perry and they put her and Miley Cyrus in the same fucking box together.
Don't put her in hip hop.
Don't put her in hip hop.
But she's rapping over a beat though.
But just because she's not singing does not mean it's rap music.
Ultimately, this all led up to Iggy Azalea quitting music and becoming an OF model and
What the fuck?
crypto
I
entrepreneur.
ain't know all that.
I think she knew
That's
she
good
couldn't
bread,
keep
though.
it up, especially when hip-hop legends like Q-Tip started coming out and talking about it. But it goes to show when an industry plan is too obvious, especially when it's built around a
The industry playing for show, but I'm
downfall
just saying
can
that
be
girl always got
just as
something to say.
quick as the rise.
Imagine
I
bringing
don't
your
give a fuck about all
side
that.
project
It
to
can get
life
took down.
just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
It can get took down.
Puppet. Now the puppet is where it gets dark and where I might make some people mad. But these are the artists who became what the industry wanted them to be, and not necessarily what they wanted to be. Sabrina Carpenter and Katy Perry deserve honorable mentions here, but if you want to see a full inside look on their stories, I'll link my videos in the show notes. Both of them had mediocre to average success in music until the industry overlords got a hold of them and changed everything about them. Katy Perry was a gospel artist, and Sabrina was a wholesome Disney child star. Another artist a lot of people talk about in this category would be Tate McRae.
I don't know who this is.
Now, if there was ever a person literally bred to be a pop star, it's probably Tate. Tate has actually been famous since she was around 8 years old. Not for music, but she was internationally known as a dancer. Her mom owned a dance company and had Tate in training since she was around 6. Now, everything blew up for her after she posted a YouTube video of her singing an original song called One Day, which has blown up to over 40 million views.
No.
Now, usually you wouldn't label this kind of rise as an industry plant. I mean, Justin Bieber got the same kind of start on YouTube. But her brand shift is where the water gets a little muddy. She had pretty good success as the bedroom singer-songwriter, but even pop fans got caught off guard by her sexy pop diva rebrand. But who we really got to talk about is Lady Gaga. Stephanie Germanotta was playing piano in New York dive bars in 2005. She was doing jazz standards and just wearing normal clothes. And then she got signed to Def Jam at 19, but she got dropped after 3 months. L.A. Reid, he literally signed her and forgot about her. He just wasn't that interested. He thought she was too normal and too boring, not that marketable. So after that, Gaga changed everything. She was ready to be what the industry wanted her to be. She started studying what worked, what got attention. She analyzed Madonna's career. She dumbed down her skills, simplified everything.
That's not the same
focused on one goal: fame. By 2007, she was a completely different person. She was go-go dancing, setting her hairspray on fire. She wasn't Stephanie anymore. She met her producer Red One and got hooked up with Akon, and they just went straight up.
See how you noticed that?
But the interesting thing is, she never really hit.
It's just weird, just like how they got to change up their whole look and they act just to blow the fuck up. Always got to change up something. Do weird shit. You do weird shit for me. You dress like this for me, and I'll make sure 100% you get these views, you get these likes, you get this fame.
That she was just playing a character, but usually there's a consequence that comes with not being yourself.
I think real fans probably knew deep down that there was something going on.
You know, letting
She ain't
go
gonna tell you what's
of
gonna go on.
who I was before, and I don't mean becoming, Lady Gaga and leaving that behind. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean is, my life is different now.
The whole Joanne era is where the cracks really started to show. She tried to strip down the sound and perform more as Stephanie than Lady Gaga. It was her trying to find herself again. But the public didn't want Stephanie. They wanted the monster. They wanted the spectacle, because that's what sells. But what if you could sell your music whether it was good or not? That's the case for level 4, the Nepo baby. These artists were industry before they were even artists. They grew up in recording studios. They had dinner with label executives, got babysat by other pop stars. They'll talk about their journey, their struggle, their grind, but they had access to producers, writers, studios, nannies. They could fail as much as they want and still get another shot. The Nepo baby has mommy and daddy to give them every opportunity they need. Failure is not possible. Willow and Jaden Smith were destined before they were even born. Willow dropped Whip My Hair at 10 years old on Roc Nation.
I whipped that shit, bro. I mean, I remember that shit.
And then she got to quit music because it was too much pressure. Then she got to come back whenever she felt like it. She could experiment with rock and indie, whatever sound.
I ain't gonna fake it. Like all his kids, no disrespect. They all just so much shit going on with them. Man, it's probably so much shit they didn't seen, went through. It's so deep, gang. It's just this shit just so deep. Like it's so deep. Like the shit they probably experienced. Just even being in the industry, like family, shit. See how they is now. They just not writing. I wouldn't say they're not writing ahead, but they just man, they be having their times and shit. So definitely be having their time.
She won it because, I mean, failing had no consequence. Then you got Blue Ivy. Now, she did a good job voice acting on
Yeah, Blue Ivy,
Mufasa,
she did that.
but
Oh yeah, she did good.
She really have a Grammy?
Blue, congratulations. You won a Grammy tonight. I'm so proud of you.
Why is
Mama's
Beyonce
No
always?
matter what should be, it just is. Now, the next Nepo baby might surprise.
She won that Grammy because she Beyonce baby. Y'all know Beyonce. No, I can't say too much. I can't say too much, man. Look. Nah, this behind the two, boy. We all know what Beyonce is. If you know, you know. You look evil.
Now, the next Nepo baby might surprise some of you guys,
Industry something
but
dangerous,
yes,
boy.
Drake is a Nepo baby. The most talented one for sure, but if you don't believe me, I think it's time that we...
Ain't no way, Drake.
Grams.
What?
So, his dad, Dennis Graham, was a drummer who worked with Jerry Lee Lewis.
That was his
Jerry
daddy?
Lee Lewis
He
was
looked
one of
like
the
you
pioneers
Canadian.
for rock and roll. Then you got his uncle, Larry Graham, who was a singer himself, and he was a bass player for Sly and the Family Stones, one of the most famous funk groups of all time.
What?
And then you got his
That's
other
his
uncle, Teenie Hodges, who was a songwriter and guitar player for Al Green.
Damn, Drake family got talent. Damn. I didn't even know that. Oh, this nigga Drake. Oh,
Drake was playing on Degrassi and making 50 grand a year when he was a teenager.
damn.
And that ended, he had money and connections that could fund his own.
Wait, what's this movie? That was terrible.
Playing on Degrassi and making 50 grand a year when he was a teenager.
The boy got shot by a white
And that
boy in
ended,
the
he
back.
had money and connections that could fund his own mixtapes. Now, started from the bottom is great branding, but the bottom was middle class with industry connections. But the most successful,
Drake ain't from the
possibly
bottom.
the saddest of
He
them
ain't
all
from
is
that.
Level 5, the super plant.
Drake had money,
Plan is
gang.
as close to a robot as you can get. They don't write their own music. They don't choose their image. They don't control their social media. They show up, perform the role they've been given, and then they just collect a percentage. Most of them started from childhood and have even been put through development programs. There's people that control what they eat, control what they say. They'll pretend to date somebody just because it's good for their image.
That's so
Their whole life
wild,
becomes
bro.
content. And sadly, they're the ones that usually have the most trauma and depression and mental health
Problems
issues.
in life.
Britney Spears is probably the most tragic example of the super plan. When Britney was on the Mickey Mouse Club, it was basically an all-star training camp. You had Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling. They were all kids being groomed for stardom. But when Britney signed with Jive Records when she was 15, they created the whole package for her. Britney could actually sing, but they were giving her baby voice pop songs. And then they even controlled her virginity, because she wasn't a virgin, but they told her she had to tell the public that.
All right, so listen up. State
What the
Farm
fuck?
was
Man,
trying
these
to
niggas
charge
be
me
sick.
$197 for car insurance. No thank.
So she could stay pure.
I'm just
The
wondering,
hell?
how do you feel about all the constant speculation about your virginity and whether you are a virgin or not?
I really wish I would have never said anything to begin with, because I'm kind of stuck in this little place where people are always asking me. But, you know, that's just something that's part of growing up, and that's just something that we all have to deal with. So.
They wanted to keep that young and innocent vibe, but at the same time, they were marketing her to be provocative. By the time she was in her prime, she had been in the industry so long that she was already starting to lose herself. She got married for 2 days. She beat up a car with an umbrella, shaved her head. The constant pressure of being one of the most famous people on the planet. I mean,
Bro, it do
completely
something
took
to these
over.
people's head, bro.
Conservatorship made it even worse. She was unfit to control her own life, but fit enough to release albums and generate millions of dollars. Then K-pop takes this to a whole nother level. They treat music like it's an Olympic sport. They take 12-year-olds and they call them trainees. They keep them in dorms and
What
they
the
make them
fuck?
practice 16 hours a day. They give them personality types. And then in the end, when the company can't make a profit,
Man, they
off
got
of them anymore,
chips in these people, bro. They controlling them. Like, they really control. They have to listen and do all of that. And you know what's crazy? They all chose to do it, shit, for the money.
disband the group. But the Asian music markets, what they tend to do is they learn from the American music market of the past, because this goes all the way back to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. Both of the groups were put together by Lou Pearlman. He was a music manager who both of the groups actually ended up suing in the end. But he held auditions and he picked the members of the group, gave them the music, told them what words to sing. He even did a whole marketing campaign where he put the groups against each other. And the worst of it all, in the contracts, he put himself as one of the members of the group and was stealing money from them. But at the end of the day, the super plant pretty much has no control. Now, there's quite a few artists I didn't get a chance to talk about in the video. So let me know in the comments who you think is an industry plant that I didn't mention. And if you enjoyed this video,
of how
watch
to
this
be
one
an
next for the
industry
full
puppet.
breakdown on Katy Perry, or watch this one for the full breakdown on.
Bro, this crazy. Like, just like learning like all this shit. Like, he really put his time into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Research and shit like that. Nah, these definitely industry plants. And it's way more. It's way more other industry plants too. Like, this shit really deeper than what it is though. But yeah, man, that was a good video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, we out.